you have time to talk to me. You don't want to. So do the walk of shame and walk away from me with your head down.
Some cops count on people being scared and clueless, but these citizens weren't having any of it. Today, we're diving into the sharpest, boldest moments where knowing your rights flipped the entire situation on its head.
You cannot turn a First Amendment protected activity into a crime. That's public property. I'm not saying nothing. I can record. Your feelings don't overrule my constitutional right.
In July 2024, an auditor walked into a Utah police parking lot, and within seconds, he knew something was very wrong. What he saw should never happen at a law enforcement facility.
The parking area where only the sheriff can park. So this is one of the police cars, okay? No front license plate. There's their VIN number. So he has that recorded. I put a complaint in, over a month ago. It's been over a month, okay? And here's the same Jeep. They're special people. VIN number in there. You can see it, okay? And then we have another car. Okay, there it is. No license plate. They think they're special. How about this one? How about that? 4 cars. There's a VW. There it is. No license plate on the front. There's the VIN number. Very clear, right? So let's see if this car here has one in the front. Because they're special. See? No license plate. Another one. Okay? Another one. Another car. I think maybe they're doing it on purpose now. That they're all taking their front license plates off. Here's another one. No license plate on that car at all. And another one. How about that? Huh? How about that? So here it is. That's the VIN number for the Nissan, okay? And here we have this one, a Hyundai, no license plate. So are they doing it on purpose? I kind of think they are.
Not a single vehicle had a license plate, but things escalated fast when Chief Deputy Butcher showed up. Instead of taking responsibility, he behaved as if the law wasn't his concern.
They're special. These people work for the sheriff department, so they don't have to abide by the laws that you do, okay? They don't have to do the things that you're asked to do because they're so damn special. Why do you guys have no license plates on your cars?
I believe I do.
Really? Well, a month ago I did this. I've already gone past 9 cars that are parked in your special area, and none of them have license plates on it. Why?
Not my cars. I can't answer you.
What is your name?
Arnold Butcher.
And are you the chief of the sheriff for Davis County? Because I live in this county.
Yeah, I'm one of the chief deputies here.
Okay, and you have no reason why you guys are privileged not to have a front license plate on your car.
You're asking about individual vehicles, and
this is your responsibility. You're supposed to set an example to the citizens of Davis County, are you not?
Yeah, I appreciate your input, Walt.
No, you don't, because nothing's been done about it. I put a complaint on it.
I've got to get in, so thanks, Walt.
No, you have time to talk to me. You don't want to.
He confronted the deputy for not following the law, and with nothing to defend himself, the officer had to retreat in a silent walk of shame.
So do the walk of shame and walk away from me with your head down. That's what you're doing. You guys are pricks, you know that? You guys think you're above the law and you don't have to go by it, right?
Have a good day, Walt.
Oh, piss on you. When cops say have a good day, it's the same thing as saying I used to be a cop, buddy.
I know.
You're a You guys are terrible. And you're not going to do nothing about it, are you? I'm going to come back again. And pretty soon, your phones are going to be overloaded with people calling across this country. So be a hard-ass walk away from me and not give me an explanation. So you just saw one of the chiefs wearing their phony goddamn stars. And here's another one right here. These sons of bitches already know who I am. He called me Walt. Hey, Chief, don't you ever call me Walt again. You can call me Dr. English or Captain English, but don't you ever call me Walt. You don't have the privilege or the right. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Okay. These assholes Why shouldn't I be mad? Why shouldn't I be cussing? People right here in this parking lot, okay? They have to come to court and pay tickets for that, and then they stand around on their ass and don't even do it. That's
It's unacceptable when those sworn to protect the law choose to ignore it themselves. Their actions don't just contradict their duty, they damage the trust of every citizen. Watch these next officers crash and burn, all because someone knew their rights.
You know, right now I'm doing a protected activity. First Amendment, freedom of the press. This is freedom of the press.
You've been told to leave, you refuse to leave.
Moving on, we have a First Amendment auditor from the YouTube channel Kansas City Accountability who was filming at a public post office when an employee suddenly confronted him with outrageous, unfounded accusations. And what happened next caught everyone off guard.
No, I'm just recording.
For what purposes?
Just recording.
You know there's no soliciting on personal property, right?
It's no
There's
what?
no soliciting on personal property.
I'm not soliciting nothing.
I don't think they're comfortable with you recording them.
Well, they in public. They're in public.
They're not okay with you recording them, sir. Look at this young lady. She's turning the other way. She's not okay. She's uncomfortable. Please don't make my customers uncomfortable. What's your problem?
What makes you think I have a problem? What makes you think I have a problem? Are you the postmaster?
No, I'm not the postmaster.
Is
I
the
work
postmaster
here.
here?
She's not.
She's
I
not?
work here.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking, what's your problem?
I don't have a problem, sir.
Then please walk out.
No, I'm gonna stay here. I have every right to be here.
But you don't have any right to record me.
I do. You just walked up to the camera, sir. You
Can you,
tweaking.
can you take off your face if you think what you are doing is right? Can you take off your face?
Look how close you is. Why would I take my mask off?
Because you know what you are doing is not right, so you can't put your face out.
What's your name?
My name is Joseph.
Joseph. How you doing, Joseph?
I'm doing fine.
Yes, I'm just up here recording.
For what? Just let me know and I'll give you whatever you want.
I know what you can do for me while I'm here. Do you have the passport applications? I don't see
We
them
don't
out
sell
here.
some, we don't do some here. Passport application, you have to go to Gladstone.
Okay.
Record someone who has come to the post office to do a business. You can record anything, but you can't record this lady. It's a breach of her privacy. That is all I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. You ready for this?
Yeah.
There's no expectation of privacy in public.
Can I take you and put you on online?
You can if you're not at work. So that picture, listen to
Can
me.
you take off your face?
Listen to
and
me.
let this woman
Look
take
how
off-
close you are to me. Why would I take my COVID mask off? You know it's coming back around this year, right?
The worker kept asking the auditor to stop recording, but when he stood his ground, they immediately called the cops on him, which led to an escalation of the situation.
I asked the young man if he needed anything when I realized that he was recording my customers, and I'm like, I don't appreciate that. If it's anything I can help you with, go ahead and let me know what you need. And he just continued recording. And the young lady that was sitting over here in line queue, she was getting uncomfortable, you know, one of the customers. And I said, that's not okay, it's not appropriate. So please can you leave the property?
Okay.
Since you are not conducting any postal business. So he refused to do so.
Okay,
I
well,
felt the need for you guys to come on by.
sounds like you need to leave the property or we're gonna take you to jail.
You know, we can't have
Can we get a supervisor? Can we
We
get
can
a,
talk outside.
no, right here, listen, no. This is poster 7. This is the rules and
But she
regulations.
said you're not conducting any postal business.
Listen to me, sir.
Okay, let's talk outside.
But this is the rule.
Come on. There you go.
Listen,
What
look
is
at
your
this.
vehicle?
Look at this. That's the rules and regulations saying I can't record, sir. You skipped
You're
the
not conducting
I did. I asked her for a passport. I left and gave the lady her own personal space.
That's not what
you
you
just
said.
grabbed my arm. I got
That's it.
everything on camera.
Uh-huh.
Can we
Yes,
get a
so do I.
supervisor? Can we get a supervisor out here, please?
Well,
Please.
you need to leave.
This is public property.
No,
That's
it is
a
not.
lobby.
No, it is not.
Under threat of arrest, I'll leave. But listen.
Okay, good.
But
Go.
listen. There's a poster 7 in there that says I have the. Just go look, sir. Can you please go look?
But here's the one thing I do know. I understand if this was a government building. I understand if this was a police station. I understand all that on a government building. Yes.
And one more thing, sir. You know, right now I'm doing a protected activity.
No,
First Amendment,
no, no,
freedom
no,
of the
no.
press. This is freedom of the
You've been
press.
told to leave, you refuse to leave.
That was her first time ever saying to leave, sir. I got everything
But
on
the
camera.
Right, but the United States Postal Service actually is a private entity. It's not. I understand it says government, United States Postal Service, but it's actually a private entity.
Okay.
Moments after the officers arrived, they didn't just threaten him, they dragged him out of the station, and that shows exactly how dangerous power is in the wrong hands.
I couldn't hear with the
I'm
wind.
Sergeant Durner. My badge number is 4944, serial number.
Yes, sir. I came in here today just to kind of get some public information.
Uh-huh.
I know I have every right to record in here. It's actually have a poster 7 in there with the rules and regulations on postal property, saying that photos and photography may be taken in the lobbies, foyers, and corridors.
Okay.
Clear as day. Right when I walked in, the lady she triggered the issue. She said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I said, "I'm just recording." She's like, "Well, you can't record here. You can't record my customers." She said, "This lady do not want to be recorded." The lady didn't even say nothing yet. But I even left the building just to give the lady her privacy,
Okay.
which I really don't even have. I didn't have to do that.
Okay.
Anything I see in public, I can record. That was just a little lobby. I wasn't going to be in there that long. Look how little it is. There's nothing in there.
Okay.
But I did ask them for a passport. They let me know I have to go to another building. I couldn't even get public information to ask them. I'm just documenting as I'm handling my business. These gentlemen, I forget his name, but he actually grabbed me and pulled me out the office. Not even letting me show him the rules and regulations on postal property. You and the postal people took an oath to uphold the Constitution. And you pulled me out the building, sir, when I'm telling you I have the right to do
Because
so.
you weren't leaving when you were told.
I don't have to leave. They can't make me leave just because I got a black shirt on. I have to commit a crime for you to make me leave this property.
They ask you to leave.
They can't just ask me to leave. No, it's not. That's not how trespass works, sir. If I'm at the police department, you can't just say, "Hey, leave." I have to commit some type of crime.
Or if you're causing the disturbance,
I didn't
or making
cause-
people feel uncomfortable.
I didn't- you-
That's another whole
Come on,
other
Sarge.
situation.
Come on, Sarge. Now, I'm not making nobody uncomfortable by recording. You can't turn protected activity
No, on that,
into a crime.
These officers were clearly on a power trip. None of them seemed to understand the law. Making people comfortable isn't their job, and let's be clear, someone else feeling uneasy while you exercise your rights is not a crime.
You're absolutely right. You can record anybody you want.
And I didn't
You're
say
not
nothing.
interfering with anybody's
I'm not-
work or anything like that.
They came out to me.
Okay. All right.
It's a little lobby, sir. Once you walk in there, you see it's little. It's nothing too much you can do or say. I just had a couple questions. I was in there 20 seconds and the lady ran out to me.
20 seconds?
20 seconds.
You got that on your phone?
I got that.
Shows
See,
you
the lady was
20 seconds.
outside. She was outside getting something out somebody's
Okay.
car. So when I walked in, she came in right behind me and was like, "Hey, what are you doing? You can't record." So, and what's your name again? Your name and badge number?
Officer Buck, 4682.
Bush put his hands on me and pulled me out the office.
Yes, it did. Because you refused
They
to
wanted
leave
you
when I
to
told
leave,
you.
but I'm going to go talk. I haven't talked to the manager, so I'm going to go
Okay.
over.
The sergeant's tone shifted completely the moment he realized the auditor knew his rights. He had no choice but to concede and leave. However, the auditor wasn't going to leave without teaching them about the law.
You're on public property. And here's the deal. In that foyer is public property. You're correct about that. But the issue is when you're making customers uncomfortable, that's a prohibited act, which is on that rules and regulations. If you're impeding any business, any customers doing business, that's a prohibited act. That's on that rules and regulations.
This is a First Amendment protected activity. You cannot turn a First Amendment protected activity into a crime. That's public property. I'm not saying nothing. I can record. Your feelings don't overrule my constitutional right.
Now you're out here, you can record all you want. We can't keep you from going back in there now once we leave. But again, if you continue to do the acts that make people uncomfortable, make the workers and make the public in general uncomfortable when they go in there to conduct their business, I'm sure we're going to be called back out here. And then we'll call the postal inspector and have them come and take care of this.
Okay.
Okay?
And again, one more thing, you guys.
You already have his info?
No, we've not.
You just want to give it?
We haven't asked.
Do you want to provide us your information?
Am I obligated? Okay. So can I go back in there?
It's only fair since you got all our information.
You're public. You're a public servant. I'm private.
Back on settle.
He said I can go back in there. He said he finna leave.
We can't stop at this point. I mean, that's right.
Damn, look at this dude.
That's like I said.
These officers showed exactly what happens when power goes unchecked. Bullies in badges, abusing authority. When arrogance meets someone who actually understands their rights, things get messy fast.
Anybody can file a complaint against any officer if they have something that shows that they did something wrong, but there's no time limit to it, I guess. So that And essentially this says the same thing too.
Officers from the Ormond Beach Police Department left trash at a woman's home and even tossed out her mail. When she tried to report it, the department claimed it was too late to act. But what happened next pushed this story into something far more serious.
If there was someone who wanted to make a complaint, right? And because now she pulled the procedure, so I get it. So even though it's after 30 days, they would still, under the
Like you
exceptions.
talked about yesterday.
Under the exceptions.
Yeah,
Okay.
We'll accept it, and whether there be punishment to the officer, we'll go
So
from
the
there.
punishment would determine, it would be contingent on basically if it was a criminal violation, if there was some kind of probable cause, obviously, to go. And then it
Always
says,
accept a complaint.
and any violation of a standard operating procedure or directive or whatever would be considered misconduct on an officer's part, because that's what they agreed to abide by, right? Complaints of misconduct shall be documented on department inquiry form. So whether they're 30 days
Always take it.
old or less, but if it's misconduct, it's always gonna go. So
Always accept it. Just
so
like we talked about
right.
yesterday.
Yeah. It was,
So,
I accepted the complaint, and then reviewing it, I found a different
yeah,
it was
violation.
like you said, it was 32 days.
Yeah, it was like 32, 33 days. It was just outside the window.
But
The
she-
month was like 31.
Right.
so like Daytona's policy is anybody can file a complaint against any officer if they have something that shows that they did something wrong. And it says that all complaints shall be investigated. Okay, so that kind of just,
we always accept it. It's just
It voids out
what the
the-
outcome will be is,
different.
yeah.
Yeah, like that one that you mentioned, the 32. She brought video and had video of it.
Yeah, she had clear video of the violation, but it was expired, so I couldn't
It
punish
wasn't.
the
It
I could
wasn't a
sustain the
criminal.
officer that he did do it, but there's nothing I could do about it.
So it
But
wasn't a criminal.
within that, I found a different violation that I considered new,
So-
which was within the 30 days, which is in the officer. Then I did issue the written discipline for
Gotcha.
that.
So in the situation you guys were talking about, that person obviously didn't commit a criminal violation, because then the statute rolls on that.
With clear evidence of officers committing a federal crime, you'd expect swift action. Instead, the chief seems determined to keep complaints from going any further.
When I was told that, I was like, oh, that doesn't make any sense, because if a person is, if their complaint doesn't matter after 30 days, then what stops the officer from just burying the hatchet for 30 days to pass and getting away with it
exception
and
goes to
everything
say
else?
like,
It doesn't make sense.
say like somebody gets hurt,
Yeah.
and they go to the hospital, and then they don't get out of the hospital and then come out of rehab or whatever, and they show back up,
Yeah.
40 days later and be like, hey, the officer beat the crap out of me. Sorry.
Is there-
That's the idea there. The exception is there obviously,
It's a battery.
if there's a legitimate reason
Yeah.
why it's over there. Though.
Right.
You,
Or
you,
good
you
cause.
either have the crime or you have
The good cause.
you have to articulate the retaliation.
I asked Stephanie if it was defined, and she said it wasn't defined. And I'm like, okay. So, there's no specific definition agency-wise of what means good cause, so it's just whatever. If they could, I didn't have a vehicle, my car was broken down, or I was sick with the flu, or
No, that's not good.
No?
No, because you can call. We'll take that over the phone. I've taken
Oh,
complaints
okay.
over the
Well, that
phone.
makes sense.
We have an internet complaint.
That makes
I've gotten plenty of complaints on the internet.
The attorney's move forced the chief into the spotlight, exposing the rule for what it was. And just like that, the chief tripped again. Complaints couldn't be filed without a sworn statement, and online was impossible.
I personally, not this agency, another agency, have policy violations that I want to put down for the chief. Right? So when you want to file a complaint against the chief and list everything that's going on, then who handles it from there?
We had this conversation.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh, you
didn't-
did?
Yeah, we did. We had it was a
Okay.
lengthy.
Yeah, I would probably start with FDLE. I would then probably switch over to the Inspector General's office. Probably then switch over to the Attorney General's office.
Yeah.
And then probably switch over to the governor. And the chief is an employee. He's hired by the city manager, who's then is controlled by the.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. It's a difference between the chief and the sheriff. The interest of the people. The answer to City Hall.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons
You
why we
try.
think we'll never be bought out is.
And then when
it's
you can
control.
get nowhere though, and you just complete that circle and no one does anything, and FDLE's like, hey, if this is really what's happening, come show us the proof. This is what's happening. Then there's going to be some arrests, and this is major. And then you show them the proof, and they're like, oh, now we're not going to get involved. And it's like, what do? And your chief's not going to take action against chief, and deputy chief's not going to investigate the chief, and the IA department's not going to do anything to,
You always have to go one above.
And there seems to be like no one to go above to. They all.
Yeah, and that was for the one that was like 32 days. That's what I was curious about. I'll probably ask for records or something like that. But it was like, was she offered to an opportunity to provide good cause why she didn't make it in? You know.
Mm-hmm. I asked her that.
That's what I'm wondering. I was like, there's nothing in here backing it with the administrative policy that says like per for statute it's 180 days for you can have an IA open. You can told the IA for X amount of days. You have 45 days if the IA is not active, that it becomes a public record, but I just couldn't figure out where 30 days come from.
Every agency the chief named had already been tested by James Madison, and none took real action. Justice seemed to take a back seat, while loyalty ran the show.
Well, that particular 3.1, the way it's written, though, it's kind of voided by the exceptions to the rule kind of deleted out. And in the policy right on the first page says that it shall be, which means it must, right? The policy of Ormond Beach PD to investigate all complaints against the agency and its employees, and it doesn't give a time frame.
And part of investigating.
And it says the appropriate captain shall oversee and manage an IA investigation and thoroughly, expeditiously, and impartially investigate all unresolved complaints or cases involved.
Oh, maybe we can have, this is a civil discussion, but I'll email the chief and say, hey, can we just remove this? There's no statute in the 112 or whatever it is with the statute that says you can make time frames. It says all should be investigated. Shall, not should, shall. And maybe just a civil thing to say, hey, let's not retroactively go back and start reinvestigating everything, but it's not on the complaint form that it's only 30 days. It's not anywhere on the website either that I can find. Something to just eliminate this and not retroactively go back, but just to make it to where if someone comes forward in fear, I'm afraid of cops. So that's what I was saying. Maybe we can civilly just figure this out so regular citizens can just come forward and just bring their grievances to the department and be like, yeah, let's do it, and not have 32 days and then, sorry. Well, no, that was it for me.
James was the first to challenge the rule, and it worked. Soon after the interview, the chief dropped the 30-day limit for filing complaints. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. Today, we saw exactly why knowing your rights around law enforcement isn't just important, it can literally protect you from abuse and wrongful actions. Some officers assume their badge gives them unlimited power, but educated citizens showed that knowledge is your strongest defense. Everyone should learn from these examples because no one should be left vulnerable simply for not knowing their rights. If you agree with me, please consider showing your support by liking this video, and also make sure to subscribe to stay informed about future cases like these.